So with that, let's get started na. Bilisan na natin, charot, medyo. Yun, simulan na natin siya. So our speaker for today will introduce us to the importance of software testing and she will discuss the WH questions about software testing. So one of which is how to test your application properly.
She is a quality assurance specialist with 6 years of experience, 2 years of which is focused on web and automation testing, and she just moved from the Philippines and is now working in the Netherlands. She is volunteering as an evangelist at Women Who Code Manila.
Okay, with the aim of guiding and inspiring the community, especially students, she shares her ideas and knowledge about testing and quality by doing public speaking, hosting and organizing tech events like hackathons, conferences, and meetups. So yun, let's start now all the way from the Netherlands. So may we call on our speaker for today, Miss Mary Grace Malyari. So ayun, good afternoon, ma'am.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Kim and Sam. And thank you for that wonderful introduction.
Good afternoon po.
So, may mga interview ba muna before I start?
Should we start, ma'am? Charot. Hindi po.
Okay.
We can start. No need na po. I think super gets na po ng mga audience natin. And you may start.
Super excited na pong lahat.
Yes po,
na
excited na po lahat.
Marinig ang inyong
Makita pa lang po namin kayo. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you po. Yung start na po.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Can you see my screen now? And can you see me?
Yes po. Yes.
Okay. So again, thank you for that wonderful introduction. And hello, everyone. Good afternoon sa lahat. And I hope that you are having a great day. And good morning sa akin. First, I would like to thank PUP, the Programmers Guild, for this amazing event and for the opportunity to share to the community, the students here about software testing. So second, thank you participants for coming here to this event. I hope that you learned and you are learning a lot with this event. And before we move directly to our discussion, I would like to introduce myself more and get to know you also. So, hoi, it's hi in Dutch, and it's very different from our hoi in Tagalog, like hoi, tara dito. So, it's very different because hoi is just like hi in Dutch. And I'm Mary Grace. I am a QA specialist here in Valtech, Netherlands, and for a very long time, 1 month, and I am now living here in the Netherlands. So I just want to know, how about you? Where are you guys staying? And you can always send your messages here in the chat box dito sa Zoom. So saan ba kayo nag-stay ngayon? Ano ba kayo? Parang nag-stay ba kayo with boarding house and such? So I'm gonna check the chat box also. You can type your messages there. Let's see. Unfortunately, I can't see the messages.
Ano po ma'am, mostly ano po, mga sa bahay lang po. Sa bahay lang po lahat.
Okay, yeah. So meron marami ayun, nakita ko na yung chat. Huli. There. So sa bahay, tama, sa Mandaluyong from Marikina. So hello sa mga taga QC, sa Japan, Char, sa Pasig. So hello everyone. And I'm going to continue. Let's look back a few years ago, and I am a proud PUPian. So this is CS Ed Week. Active sa mga ganap sa school, and this is 4th floor East Wing, if I remember. So active din with events outside the school. So this is Game Jam. where we are tasked to create a game for 3 days. So, CGV, Computer Graphics and Visualization nga pala ang napili kong track nun. So, after graduation, my first job is a QA in a startup company. And up until now, my work is into the quality of application. So, 4 years with manual testing and 2 years with automation testing. So I'm also attending hackathons, especially testing hackathons. So either manual or automation. So funny thing here is habang nagpe-prepare ako ng presentation na ito, napaisip tuloy ako, buti na lang may mga pictures ako before. So as you can see, I love taking photos and nagamit ko siya. So handy pala siya when you introduce yourself. So I'm also attending seminars and now mostly webinars about software testing, and I speak at events like this. And I am part of Women Code Manila, so it is a global nonprofit organization that inspire people, especially women, to excel in tech careers. So I'm the evangelist and I host events there also. So namimiss ko na yung mga tao. I mean, yung physically bond, study groups, yung nakakausap mo sila and nakikita physically. So all the activities, organizations, school that I'm part of, at syempre mga tao na nakikilala ko, made me who I am today. So, and I am really grateful for that. So that is me and nice to meet you all. So for our workshop for today, we will follow this agenda. First is discussion about the WH questions on software testing. WH is shorthand for who, what, when, why, and how. There's also where, but hindi ko na siya nilagay for this discussion. And WH is used both in problem solving and in project planning. And I thought that it is a great chance or idea to apply it also here on our discussion. So second is Q&A. So around 10 to 15 minutes. Depends also if there's a lot of questions. And then next is TIL. So today I learned, after the Q&A from the Slido that will be organized by the host. So today I learned I will pick 2 or 3 persons here to share what they learned in this discussion. So I adapted this TIL idea when we are doing study groups at Women of Code. And during the session, aside from learning, don't forget to have fun. I hope everything is clear because I'm just gonna move through the slides. And I'm not just talking or speaking here in front of your monitors, but I also have goals. My goal is to make you become, first, knowledgeable about software testing. So let's learn. Second, make this talk more conversational. But please, like what the host said, mute yourself during the talk. But we will have Q&A later, and today I learned part, so that's the time that you can unmute your microphones. So let's talk. And last one is, it's not just you will learn from me, but I will also learn from you. How do we do that? If ever I did not explain clearly or I said something wrong, kindly bring it up. We don't want to say any wrong information here, of course. Or if you want to add or share what you know, feel free to share. So let's share. And my goal, my ultimate goal for you is to be inspired and motivated. So let's go start. So why is this title? Like everything else, testing is a priority. Well, software is everywhere. We are dependent on it, and we are addicted to it. And I'm giving you this scenario as an example as a general lack of interest in making things work well. So this is a story about a CS student with programming and comms testing. And a few months ago, that student stood up in class and he asked, why should I test this piece of software where I can see things appearing on the screen and it's working? So, and that's just it. the average programmer, he gets the adrenaline rush from seeing something appearing on the screen, but he has no interest in making sure that things are working the way that they should be. So, note this is just a story. So, this is just one of the examples or scenarios where sometimes software testing becomes not prioritized, and that is a bad thing. Um, Make testing as one of your priorities at the end. We all aim for a software or output that is in high quality. And to be able to do that, we need to make sure that everything is working as expected. And how do we do that? We test. So, moving on to the next slide is the first question. What is software testing? So we will go to the basic, and note that in every new learnings or topics, you should always start at the very basic. So, mapa-IT related topics pa yan, learning new skill like cooking and playing instruments. So, we always start at the very basic. And then, we will expand or grow our knowledge about it. So, what is software testing? And let's have a quick overview. What is this all about? But I'm going to ask you and help me what is to explain or define what is software testing. So I'm going to use a Menti, so you can input your understanding about what is software testing. So yes. Carl, you can already send the link also with this Menti. So what words come to your mind when you hear about software testing? And you can use also, you can type www.menti.com and use this code to enter the this Mentimeter. So I hope it's clear. So you'll just go to this site menti.com and use the code. And I will start a 1-minute countdown. So it's like a voting. Ayan, nasa menti.com na ba kayo? Oh, I see 2 people. And also note pala, oops, wait, nawala ang aking Menti. Also note pala na do not use the word software and testing with your definition or your understanding about software testing. Oh, okay. So, i-hide ko muna yung mga vinote nyo or in-input nyo. Okay. Well, I guess all people input their understanding about software testing. Each words is corresponding to a specific person. So, equal lang sila ng size. Because in this like word cloud, if same kayo ng understanding and yung minessage nyo na word is bigger yung, halimbawa yung formality, so mas malaki yung size niya, yung font size niya. So, let's read. Quality control, accuracy, penetration, correctness, evaluating. Yes, debugging. Debugging, we will discuss that later. Gray box, adequate, checking, and verifying, and tedious formality. So, well, thank you so much for your participation, of course, and I'm happy with the results. And all of these are related to software testing. So, very nice. And I know that meron na tayong understanding, like basic understanding with software testing. And just to add, further details about software testing is it's defined as an activity to check whether the actual results match the expected results. So that is self-explanatory, and that is the simplest definition about software testing. So I'm a fan of SB19 also, so share ko lang. And next slide will be a statement. So we can achieve 100% bug-free software. This is also a question where you can input your answer as true or false. Is it true that we can achieve 100% bug-free software? So let's see on the chat what will be your answer. Okay, I see many false. So no, and also there's explanation. No, there is no such thing as perfect software, perfect in the software. So false, okay. And the answer will be true, false. So nakakita na ba kayo ng answer na ganyan? Well, it's partly true kasi and mostly false talaga. And this is also a tricky question. And like what, let's see if I can. Trolls, yeah, trolls. And technically true if someone can actually take into account for every possibility. So, very diverse ang answer nyo and with explanation and that it's good, and you know that we're in the right track. So yeah, it's a tricky question because there are factors like gaano ba ka-complex ang software na na-develop or na-create. So yung time you execute the testing and other factors. So maraming dapat i-consider to say that we can achieve or the software is 100% bug-free. And please don't be disappointed that it's mostly false and we're just being realistic. It is slightly impossible as 100% bug-free software. And of course, sino ba namang ayaw ng maganda at maayos na application, di ba? So this is the dream of everyone. But we need to accept the fact that, like what everyone says, nobody's perfect. And well, you ever wondered why alcohols or other disinfectants say that it can only kill 99.9, like, or 99% of germs and not 100%? Well, it's just the same idea. So, Miss Grace, bakit hindi ma-achieve ang 100% bug-free software? Kaya nga tayo nagtetest ng software, di ba? So, para walang issues, kaya nga tayo nagtetest. Pero, we have explanation on this. First, software testing cannot help us to identify all the hidden problems inside the code. So, that is why we have what we call test techniques, to help us identify or strategize what to test, so to be more efficient on how to test. And we're going to the next slide, which is a photo of idea of regression testing. So second is every developer's change and commit in the repository on your code involves risk that maybe sa isang feature na na-test natin before, nag-pass siya. Example, we have this iteration test cycle 1 and nag-update ng code si devs due to added module or fixing bugs. So we are not sure anymore that it is working the same way na nag-work siya before until we will test that feature again. So that's what we call regression testing. That's the idea of it. And in this photo, this is a bug and test tracking tool. So it's called Jira. And let's look at sample IC3. So this is the ID, the unique identifier for each test cases. So in-execute niya sa iteration 1 or cycle 1 and nag-pass siya. But you can also see here na si IC1 is failing and IC7 is blocked. So, anong gagawin or anong magiging process dito? So, magpa-file ng bug si tester, si QA, and then mapupunta sa backlog ni just simple process. So mapupunta sa backlog ni developer and then verifying if it's really a bug, fixing it, and then pupunta uli kay software tester and then validating if na-fix na ba yung bug. So for example, yung bug dito, kaya nag-fail si IC1 ay dahil may bug siya. So for example, na-fix na and na-validate na ni software tester na pass na siya. So fix na siya. So what we're going to undergo test cycle 2 to make sure that yung mga nag-pass sa cycle 1, which is IC3, IC6, 12, 13, 14 ay passed pa rin. And then, yung mga nag-fail or block ay magiging pass na. So I hope that's clear. So we undergo cycle 1, cycle 2 to make sure that lahat ng mga na-test natin before ay working pa rin as expected. So, quality assurance for your app is a lifelong process due to constant changes in technology. So, let's see. Just gotta check the chat. Ayun, wala namang mga questions. Baka may mga fast questions lang na pwede ko nang ma-answer. So, next is we were moved on to the history class. I will be showing some bugs happened in the past, and it is important for us to know what happened before and be aware not only in this IT world but also in our life that to avoid make mistakes again, we should know what happened in the past. So at the end of this part also, I will show some photos and we will debug and determine what is the bug or what went wrong. So when an error is found in a set of instructions given to a computer, it is called a bug. So the process of finding the error in a set of computer instructions is called debugging. And the term bug was used in account by computer pioneer Grace Hopper. And sabi dito, there has been a malfunction in an early electromechanical computer, and the reason of that malfunction or error is because there is a moth trapped in a relay. So, but it is the operators of the computer who found that moth. So they remove it and affixed on the log na nakikita nyo sa screen. So it says, first actual case of bug being found. So most likely, the term bug was already used before na nangyari tong scenario na to. Before na-discover. So that's why it says actual case. Yeah. But we will not go deeper in the bug terminology, and we will move on the history, what happened. So the Y2K bug, I think most of you are familiar with this. Like, ano ba yung nangyari dito? So it's just na, for example, I can write it. 1999, inumit ni developers yung first two digits, like 99 only, 98, 97, because they thought that their code and creations would not survive into the new millennium, like 2000, like 2022. So they said that it's unnecessary and just a waste of memory, so they omitted that. And what will happen if yung date na is December 31, 1999? So maybe it will be a chaos, and that's what happened. So from 1999, the other softwares became 1900. So ang goal is to be 2000, right? So yan. Pero yung iba, since depends on their logic, but yung clock nila is nag-update back to 1900, and the others ay naging 19,100. So, di ba ang layo niya sa 2000? So, ito yung naging bug before, and maraming na-affect na businesses. So, for example, sa Spain, yung parking meters nila, yung sa Australia, for the weather, sa website ng weather. So, ito yung naging 19,100. And maraming mga na-affect with this kind of bug. It's just like, it's just numbers, just digits. So, walang mangyayaring something. And then yan, nangyari na nga siya, the Y2K bug. And next is, maybe you can give Cathay Pacific letter F. So, well, it's not just about testing a software or hardware. It is something that we should take into consideration. So, the spelling, well, you know that should be Pacific. So, the spelling, alignments of elements, text buttons, and also fields, it all boils down with the quality of the product. So, biruon mo with just a simple issue or mistake lang ng typo, na misspelled mo lang yung word, it has big impact on your client or user. And of course, the cost of fixing it when dumating na siya sa last stage is higher. So, moving on, we will debug some sample scenarios also. So, could you tell me what went wrong here on this image? Yeah, I'm gonna use the chat again. Okay. Well, you get it. So, it's the thumbnail, yung image, yung photo na ginamit. So, it's clearly not appropriate that when you're talking about people dying, will that be your expression? So, I don't know if bug ba siya ng pag-develop ng site or yung pag-input ng content. So, we're not sure. Well, congrats sa pag-answer. You got it. And next is here. Could you tell me what went wrong here on this image? The numbers, score percentage, overpass, overqualified, greater than 100%. Well, yeah, there are some considerations here also. Well, for my end, I just, because there's a lot to tackle, but I just boiled down into one, which is the better luck next time. So imagine you exceeded on your exam from 16 out of 15, and still the application says, or your teacher says, oh, better luck next time, you didn't pass. So the culprit here is this, the message. So just imagine or assume, but we're not really assuming in testing area, but here we assume that there's bonuses here on the quiz. So we can also create a theory and analyze why is the bug appearing on your test. So you can also help the developer here why it is still showing better luck next time. So that's where what are we going to do? We are going to debug or create a theory bakit kaya siya better luck next time pa din. Though nag-pass naman talaga ako. Okay. I created a sample logic here. Like, example lang, ito yung code ni developer. Example lang And then, yung requirements is passing score niya is 10 to 15 points before you get the congratulations. So, yan, congratulations. Kapag ka 10 to 15 daw yung points mo. So, let's see if we are going to execute this. And this is the score is initialized as 10. And then it still says better luck next time. And then if you see 16, still says better luck next time. So kailan kaya siya magpapas dito sa program na to? Let's try 15. Oh, okay. Congratulations sa 15. Let's see if may naka. What if naka rin siyang passing pero di nag-tick in ng code niya? At nag-false. Yes. Else, better luck next time. So sa condition, wait lang, wag muna kayo humugot. May humuhugot. Well, here, we can, like what someone says on the chat, the condition. So this operator, we can change it into something, or we can change the whole condition of the if to be able to make your 10 2 and up, 15 and up points be a congratulations message. So let's see. Use, okay. I see Elmer says that or, let's see. So if 10 siya, says congratulations. So pinalitan natin yung end to or, and then 16 is not within the 10 to 15 range of the first condition. So that is correct also. So aside from changing the AND operator to the OR, we can also omit this. If you can see, like yung score equals 15 is already here. Like if 15 is greater than or equal to 10, so we can already omit this this part, and then we can still check if magko-congrats ba siya sa 15. Yan, congratulations. And lastly, yung 16 out of 15. Let's see. Yes. But we can also check kung baka naman na-stuck na yung result natin sa congratulations. 9. So, ang expected here is better luck next time, right? Yay! So, we create theory, and we debug somehow what happened in this scenario. So the culprit, if we say, it's in the condition kung bakit laging better luck next time pa din siya yung message niya. So Oh, yun. Nag-message pala din si Patrick. Why not post-score instead of using condition? Two conditions. So, yes. Well, should be greater than. Yeah. Well, tinatama nyo naman yung mga sarili nyo. Congratulations. And now we're going to move to the other WH question, which is why is testing necessary? So, well, it is obvious already from what and where questions we had earlier. And the why seems simple. People develop software, people make mistakes, and we develop software, we make mistakes. So those mistakes or bug might be released to live or to production. And those mistakes might manifest as problems like defects, security issues, poor user experience, and performance issues. So if we do not want those problems in production, and we want to try and detect them early to act, and that is why we test. So that's other reason why we test. And another thing, why are we doing software testing? Why is it important? It's because we want to be at ease, stress-free life, at peace, untroubled, and we don't want to experience trouble after you deploy or deliver your software or application. Of course, that's all we want. Like, oh, we can sleep. And also note that the later the bugs we discover, oh, I already mentioned this on the previous slide. Like, the later the bugs we discover, like we have this development environment, test integration environment, UAT, and then production environment. So the later we discover the bugs, the higher the cost of fixing it. And high quality application of or software equals happy clients or happy users and more sleep for us. Yay! And who is responsible for testing the software? There are names or roles linked to it. So it's test engineer, software tester, QA analyst, QA specialist. So you name it. And we should accept the fact that it's not that easy to test. It requires the following skill sets. Well, it's knowledge of basic principles of testing, types of testing and their applicable areas, test management, and test automation. So it is not that required, but if you see on some job applications, when you search, when you're applying to companies, um, they said that it's good that you have experience or you have background in automation testing. And lastly is organization and people management. The reason is you're talking to the whole team. Like you have the Scrum ceremonies, you have meeting with clients, with your team. So it's also nice that you have this. You you know what they want. Like you can say that, or you can tell by that. Like you have this people management skill. Next, anyone in the software development team can do testing. So not only the tester or QA. And this type of testing, for example, has corresponding names or roles. Who does what? So mostly, this is what is happening in an organization. So can you guess who does uh, the unit testing? So you can type your answer. And unit testing is a method by which individual units or components of a software is tested or tested. So I'm just gonna read your messages, and if you can tell me who is doing unit tests. Oh, okay. I got the correct answer, and it is the the software developer. And well, I'm gonna explain it at the last part of this table about it. And we're now going to move to user acceptance testing. And UAT is used to determine whether the product is working for the test or for the user correctly. So can you guess who is doing the user acceptance testing? Hmm, nice. Well, I got already the correct answer, which is the end user or the client. So from the word itself, user acceptance testing. Yeah. And last part will be who is doing integration, regression testing, performance, security, compatibility testing, etc., and other types of testing. Okay. Yes. So everything that has connection with the QA, the word QA, or tester, so they are the ones who's doing that. But disclaimer also that it depends on organization to organization who does these types of testing. So you maybe baka ma-shock kayo na if mag-work na kayo sa company, hala, sabi sa akin ni Miss Grace is kayo daw gagawa ng unit test, ganyan, ganyan. So, it really depends on the organization or your team. Like, you will also discuss their definition of done, definition of ready. So, mga ganong part. And everything comes with the communication lang din. And last part from who? From anyone can do testing to everyone is responsible for a high quality software or application. So here you can see testing manifesto. So almost every speaking engagement ko ata ay may slide ako about it because I am promoting this and you to be engaged in this manifesto. So testing is a teamwork activity and I will share with you at the end of the slide of the link of my previous talks about software testing. So, doon ko din discuss further yung testing manifesto. So, in this manifesto nga, it states that everyone has the responsibility for a high quality software. So, before we move, I'm gonna drink first. Ayan. So, baka meron pa akong residue. So, from this who question, we will move to the next slide, which is how to test your software properly. And this is the last of our WH question. And some of the ways we identify or how to test your application. And like what I mentioned earlier, we have these testing techniques. So software testing techniques help you design better and better on your test. So boundary value analysis, equivalence partitioning, decision table, and we also have other testing techniques. But now itong tatlo ang gamit ko. And I indirectly learned about this. So ginagawa ko na siya dati, but I am not aware na, may tawag pala sa paggawa ng technique na to. I mean, like I mostly use decision tables and then, decision table pala yung tawag dun kapag ka may mga rows ka ng fields and then you do some conditions and then may results sa baba. So, decision table pala yun. And I will give you simple definitions and example about these three techniques. First is boundary value analysis. So, it takes a model of data and identifies specific data values to use. So it is an important technique as it is widely recognized that values on the boundaries cause more errors in the system. So therefore, the tester should always check the boundaries as if the system fails. So somehow like we are breaking the system. And we also have like the boundary values, the upper boundary values, and the lower boundary values. So in this image or sample we have is the age should be only from 18 to 56. So how to get the first is invalid, so we always just get the minimum minus 1, so which is 17, plus the other invalid to the other side, which is the maximum plus 1. So 56 plus 1, so that will be the other invalid value. So we have this 17 and 57 as invalid values. And then for the valid, we also do plus and minus, like from 18, minimum plus 1, which is 19, and then maximum plus minus 1. So that's what you get from 56 minus 1, which is 55. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sample values, 6 sample values to input here on each. And we can already say that if this is this valid is magpass, and then this invalid is will work the way it's supposed to be, like failed talaga siya, I mean hindi ina-accept ang 57 and 17, we can already say that this field really accepts 18 to 56 value only. And next is equivalence partitioning. So it takes a model of data and identifies what data might sample. So it's also related with the boundary value analysis, which is we get here, this is the final step or process. And the example is, where is the pen? Yeah, 1 to, oh no, wait. Sabi niya is 1 to 10 and 20 to 30 daw ang valid values. So we can like group them into 2 valid values and 3 invalid values. So to get that, so we also get from the boundary value analysis. So 1 minus 1, like minimum minus 1. So it's 0, pababa daw ay invalid. So 1 to 10, as what this condition said, is valid, and then 11 to 19 is invalid daw. So this is obvious naman na from 11 to 19 is wala siya sa requirements. So we can say that as invalid. And then 20 to 30 valid, and then maximum plus 1, 31 and up is invalid. And then we select values from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the 5 class or groups. And ang napili niya nga dito, negative 2, 3, 15, 25, and 45. Yan. I hope clear pa din. And last one is decision table based testing. So this software testing technique is used for functions which respond to a combination of inputs or events. So usually, it is being used with authorization or access of a specific user. So dito naman sa image na to or sa ating sample, ang requirement daw is mag-enable yung submit button once na all these three inputs are filled in. So, tsaka pa lang mag-enable yung submit button. So, we followed the steps to create a decision table. So, first is to and list the inputs in rows. So the inputs that we have is name, email, and message. So we have three fields now that are required. And then we uh, enter all the rules in the column. So in this scenario, we have created 8 rules, and then we fill the table with different combination of inputs. So for example, sa rule 1, lahat ay false. Rule 2, yung name lang ang true. Rule 3, yung email, and so on and so forth. So you can write different combinations and yes, from the rules. And then sa last row daw, we will note yung magiging output against the input combination. So etong part yung sinasabing output, which is yung submit button. Mag-enabled ba siya or not? So dito, ang happy path, we call it happy path kapag yung mga valid yung values, yung chine-check natin. So that's the easiest explanation. So the happy path in this scenario is all fields are required. So that is rule 8. And yun, nag-enabled na yung button natin. But the others, kapag ka daw kahit isa dun ay mag-false, I mean, wala kang in-input sa field, false pa din or disabled pa din yung button natin. So, ayan. And that's called sad path naman. And as you learn more about testing, you'll encounter more techniques, and this generally provides guidance and on how we can test. So that's the last part of our discussion, and we will wrap it up. And before we move to Q&A, and today I learned part. So I hope someone will volunteer for the today I learned. And it's very important for me to know if may na-learn or may natutunan ba kayo with this discussion. So in this, to wrap it up, we now already know what is software testing, when does the bug started, like we also debugged some sample scenarios, and why is testing necessary. So also who is responsible for testing the software or application. And lastly, how do we test our software properly? And we're now going to the Q&A, but this is not yet the end of my slide. So after the Slido Q&A, balik tayo dito sa slide na to that I'm sharing. So ayun lang, going back to the host.
Ayun po. So thank you, Miss Mary Grace Malyari. Thank you po. Super informative. So we will now proceed to the question and answer portion or segment. So participants, raise your question through the slide link provided on the comment section here in Zoom and also the Facebook Live. So yun, ongoing na ang Q&A natin. So yun, first question. So do I need to undergo specific certifications to become a software tester? So what certifications do I need and how can I start a career in software testing? So yun daw po, ma'am.
Hala ka. Ay, charot. Do I need to undergo specific certifications? No. But we have available like ISQTB certifications. You can check on that. And I'm also planning to get certified with that, but it takes money, so I'm gonna do that at the end. So yeah, it's not a requirement, but it's a good thing that you have certifications or certificates. And what certification do I need? How I said ISQTB, and it's an international certification also, so I recommend it. And start a career in software testing, just go. Yeah. If ever you're interested with that, so you will search on some resources, online articles, and even join webinars or seminars about software testing. So, ang mga kasangga ko dyan ay Women of Code Manila, so software testing. It's not really fully implied there. We have study groups, but doon ko sa kanila nakuha yung idea na, okay, if ever na I want something and I'm interested in that, I'll just go. And then Facebook groups with software testing groups. So they also put events there, and also LinkedIn. So you can register there. There are webinars that is available. So if you can start on your career, I'll just say just go, and yun, lakasan lang ang loob at wag matakot. Ganun.
Great advice, ma'am. Thank you po. So
Yan,
let's
very well
proceed to
said,
the next
madam.
question po. Okay, for those who are not into or not good in coding, is QA engineer a good choice for a job in the tech industry? Thank you.
Okay. Yes, if I may say, because yan din yung naging mindset ko when I was in college. Like, nagfe-fail, hindi naman nagfe-fail, pero nagtatress ako sa programming. Sorry po, Ma'am Naire. Pero yun, and then dun ko na-realize, hala, baka hindi para sa akin yung programming, baka hindi sa akin yung computer science. And then I realized that there's also QA engineer, software tester roles available in an organization. So for me, it's a good choice to join if ever I'm not into coding. And you can also take note with the automation testing. Most automation testing requires coding, but it's hindi siya gaano kabigat when you compare it with kung ano yung ginagawa ng developers or programmer. So in short, I think it's a good choice that I'm here. Yeah.
Okay. So, yun. For the next questions, ano po ang pinakamatagal niyong na-test na software at ano po ang average?
Oh, pinakamatagal na nadas na software. I can't say kung ano, because it depends on the client and the project itself. So each project, each software na dine-develop is there is budget for it, there is timeline for it, and I am not really sure ano yung pinakamatagal, because when I'm not, I can't say any specific kung ano yung pinakamatagal, pero it depends on the project, the timeline, and kailan gusto ni client also na ma-deliver yung software na kailangan nila. So ano yung average? I'm not sure with this question. Average of the time?
Yes po, I
Maybe.
think yun po yung niya, average time.
Well, it depends also kung gaano ka-complex at gaano ka-simple yung software mo. So, yeah, I can't really. So, if ever na simple like website, it can it can go up to 3 months and then tapos na siya. Simple website, yeah. But other softwares, I can't say.
Okay po, sige po. Thank you po, ma'am. So
Yeah.
let's proceed to the next question. Okay. Okay, what are the most common bugs you have encountered in your career?
Common bugs is nasabi ko siya sa slide, which is yung typo, yung misspelled words, and sometimes yung alignment, which is it also depends with the alignment. It depends on your machine or your size of the screen that you are testing. So for example, this app or site is you're testing it on the screen or your desktop, and then you test also with the mobile with your mobile. So minsan is nag-overlap nag-overlap yung mga yung alignments niya, yung elements, yung buttons and text. So that is common for me, but we are trying to do our best that to avoid that, because yes, it's like this is really happening, and we can fix it also. And then next is yung typo, which is mostly is na ano lang, mabilis lang talaga mag-type si developers, and it doesn't need to undergo like with reporting, like bug reporting, create ticket of bug that it has typo. You can directly say it to the developer via chat. Oh, you have typo here. Can you change it? Then it's done. So that those are the common, and I did not say functionality, because when your requirements are fully detailed and in line kayo with the whole team, it will never be a bug, or it will never be an issue unless na overlook talaga siya. So yun.
So yun, thank you po, ma'am. Okay, for the next question. So what are the top 3 to 5 at least yung tools you're using for test automation in testing web applications? Or do you also use no-code tools for that?
Okay. Um top 3 will be tools or framework. So Selenium, and we use Gherkin, Cucumber for the framework as framework. So lahat ng mga steps doon, like user click the button or user input field, user input number in this field, something like that. So it's Gherkin is like an English language that can easily be understood with all the team, like business analyst, scrum master, if ever he wants to check on that. So Gherkin, and then Cypress. So that's for my top 3, because I'm currently learning that and I'm starting to liking it. So ibang-iba siya with Selenium, and ibang-iba yung Cypress sa Selenium, but same yung functionality niya, if I may say. Yeah. Do you also use no code tools for that? Before, when I started exploring about automation testing, so I use Selenium IDE. So it's just you record what you're doing on your screen, and then when you're done with the testing, you can play it, and it's called record and play. So just click with the button, and yeah, it really doesn't have to do codings. But yeah, I recommend to be familiarized with test automation available on online. Yeah.
Okay, so yan. Thank you, ma'am, for the detailed answer. So let's move on to the next question. Okay. Okay, for you po, ma'am, in a team of developers, which role is the most successful? The UI designer, front end, back end, or QA, or etc. po?
Feel ko naghahanap na siya kung anong magiging work niya in the future. UI designer. I don't know. Because magiging stressful ang scenario or ang isang activity or task if you're thinking that it's stressful. Like, ang hirap naman nito, paano ko ba gagawin to? Wala, hindi ko magawa. So, parang ikaw mismo yung nagko-convince sa sarili mo na it's stressful. Yeah. So, so in this role, it's not stressful for me. Yeah, and also you the teammates, the clients, if they're working together, it will never be stressful.
Okay, thank you po, ma'am. So, yun. So, agree din ako sa sinabi ni Miss Lalane na depende yata yun kung ano yung strength din ng isang person. Ako. So, okay, next, for the next question is, how big is the percentage the testing process in software development? So, 90%, 70%? So, the answer can be an estimate.
Estimate ko software development 60%. Yes. Again, it's also always depends on the project budget. So, the project manager is assigned or tasked to do the percentage, something like that, with the budget that the client have. So they allot it with the whole project. So if I may say, so the average is 60% with the testing process. So that includes the test planning, creation of the test cases, and executing it. And also, if you have time, you can create automation tests on your project. Yeah.
Okay, so yan, thank you po again, ma'am. So let's move on to the next question. Okay. How would you describe the relationships of QAs and engineers? Ayan. So nakikita na daw po sa memes na lagi daw po yung nag-aaway. Totoo po ba yun, ma'am?
Yes. Well, it's not that really fighting like what you saw in memes. It's just a meme. It's just an understanding between the two people. So that's how I describe it. So, and also the QA and engineers has different mindset also that makes them become difficult if they clash. Like so, but I also have talk regarding that. So I'm in this slide that I'm going to share later. I'm going to provide you the link about the clashes between the QAs and engineers. But in the end, we always have a goal that to deliver a high quality software. So it's like walang mangyayari if there's clash na mangyayari. Walang mangyayari if ever mag-away lang kayo and such. But yeah, it's just misunderstanding. Yeah, it happens. Love and hate relationship. Yeah. Parang magjowa lang.
Normal na ano na magjowa. Okay po.
Oo.
Tama po. So, yun. Okay, I think this is the last question. Or not yet. Hindi po ata. So, yun. So, okay, for the next question, please. Any tips for fresh grad and students who wants to be a QA? Yun daw po, ma'am.
Yeah. Add ko lang like what I said on the first question. I think like be involved with what is happening. Like check on Facebook groups. Also meet up. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but meet up application. It's like events. They're creating events there that you can join. So just be aware or be informed that there are things happening. Like, and then you can also talk to some mentors and you can ask questions to me, like message through Facebook or LinkedIn. So if ever you have questions, and then yeah, just open your mind with the possibilities on what's going to happen. Like yeah, attending this webinar is a good start. So you're doing a great job. Whoever write those question. Yeah.
Ayan, so attending the webinar daw. Kaya kayo tapusin nyo hanggang 5 day ng ating event. Okay, so next question pa tayo. Marami-rami pa po ito, ma'am.
Marami pala. Hanggang lang ako 10 questions. The other are bayad na. Charot.
Ay,
Charot lang.
may talent fee. Okay,
Oo.
so what advice can you give to people who want to work abroad in the tech industry?
If you want to do it, if you want to work abroad, LinkedIn also is the best for you. I have a friend um who is now working abroad, but you can just check online um what is available, companies that are looking for QAs or software tester. So first is just check and research, and then um if you see like someone is working abroad, maybe you can tap them. So also me, I can guide you with that. Like sa akin kasi parang sinasabi ko lang na lagi na wag mahihiya, gano'n. Tsaka lakasan lang ng loob. Kasi I had the experience na sobrang kinakabahan ako sa interview, and then hala, hindi ko alam yung gagawin ko, and I also don't know what to answer. So like be confident, and also the culture is also a concern. Like country A cannot understand what you're saying, like on in the Philippines. So it needs to have like confidence, lakasan ng loob, and be be also considerate, and know that you have other cultures around you that you need to be aware of. Yeah. Iyon. Struggle yung ko dito, yung answer ko Kasi
Go, ma'am. Kaya niyo po yan.
yeah, so yun lang naman.
Ayan lang po. Yun. Guys, pakinig kayo. Tips from Netherlands. Okay, for the next question, please. So, ayun. Sino daw po ang bias niyo sa SB19, ma'am? Out of the topic.
Hala! Ano baka magalit kayo? Lahat na lang.
Lahat na lang.
Si Pablo.
Please
Si
say
Pablo talaga.
Si
Ayun.
Pablo,
And
yeah.
then, ang favorite song ko, syempre, ay Mapa.
Yes.
Yun. Pero hindi pa ako uma-attend, naka-join ng concert nila. So, yun. Sad. Gusto ko
Yun
silang
lang.
makita in person and mag-join ng concerts.
Alam ko may mga virtual concert. Wala ba silang ganon?
Meron sila.
Naka-attend ka
Uy,
na po ba, ma'am?
Hindi pa rin. Well, I just listen to their songs. So, for me, happy na ako sa mga ganun.
So, yan, baka meron siyang, magsa-sponsor kay ma'am.
Yes.
Sa SB19.
Umatendang webinar si ma'am para sa sponsor talaga.
Okay,
Yan,
so
kami
next
mga bashers
question
na kayo,
natin.
ma'am. Charot.
As a woman in the tech field, ano po ang maipapayo nyo to the other woman in the tech field din? Naging issue rin po ba sa inyo ang gender sa tech field or hindi naman? Okay.
Ano ang maipapayo nyo to other women in tech field? Story first. In this company that I'm currently joining, so I talked to another colleague, and she is looking for another developer that is also a girl developer. So nahirapan siya. It's challenging for her. Well, it's on the developer side. Naging challenge sa kanya to talk to someone with other concerns, but it's just a minor incident. But yung mapapayo ko is, well, for me, it's never an issue. Well, I'm happy, and siguro swerte rin na the colleagues they treat each other. We treat each other equally. So, ayun, wala namang issue. But like what I said, I joined Women na Code Manila. So, na-create yung group na yon because nagkaroon nga ng concern na kulang yung mga women sa tech field. So, kaya nag-uplift, or we help other people, especially women, to excel in the tech careers. So, ayun, for me, hindi naman siya naging issue. But to other people, yes.
Ayun po. So, yun. Iba pa rin yung, I think, yung benefit, yung advantage kapag nasa magandang workplace ka po, ma'am. No? Yes.
Agree.
Okay, next question. If ever. Yeah, okay. So, naaalala niyo pa po ba ang pinakaunang software na nagawa niyo, ma'am?
Wala akong nagawang software, pero test, yes. I remembered. It's CMS. So our company created our own content management software. So yun yung tinest ko. Well, I don't know with the two kung ano yung nauna, pero the other one is when it comes to manufacturing of goods. So we test there if yung mga items ba is nandun sa inventory, and then if yung order ba is dumarating sa client. So yun yung system itself. I can remember.
Okay po. So, next question na tayo.
Meron pa ba? I think this is the last na.
Last na ba yan? Okay.
Yeah, okay. So, that is the last
nice.
one, ma'am.
Ay, last
Okay.
question. And thank you po, Ms. Malyari, for answering the questions of our fellow participants. And baka may mga questions pa kayo, and you can just DM our Facebook page, PUP The Programmers Guild, or email us on puptpg@gmail.com.
So, yun. So, thank you ulit, ma'am, for answering the participants' questions. So, yun.
Yeah, I have.
Before tayo proceed. Ay,
Yeah, I have other slides pa ha, baka makalimutan niyo.
yes po, yeah. We will continue, ma'am. So, yun.
Okay.
Water
Okay
break
pa.
po.
Water break.
Kain pa po ba?
Oo, ma'am. Kamusta ka po ba? Naubusan ka po ba? Baka may talent fee na yung mga sobrang questions na nabigay namin.
Actually, happy. Happy with the questions. Like, very nagpa-participate talaga yung mga participants. So that's how you get it from participants to participate. So it really works. It really works, charot. But yeah.
Thank you sa participants daw natin.
Yeah, thank you sa inyo. So, yung pwede tayo magtawag ng mag-intermission number if ever.
Meron ba?
Sample.
Baka may gusto dyan.
Gusto niyo ba,
I mean,
ma'am?
si Kim po, magaling po kumanta yan.
Yes, sample.
Ma'am, baka maubusan tayo ng participants today. Ano na lang po, better luck next time. Go, Samantha. The floor is yours.
Ayan,
Isa SB19.
Tinatimer na kasi tayo ng ating moderator. Kaya sa tingin ko, okay naman si ma'am. Konting
Okay.
naka-water break naman po siya.
Baka
And
gusto mo lang makatakas.
I think we are ready na rin po to move on dun sa TIL portion ni ma'am. May next slide pa siya. So, the virtual floor is yours again, Ma'am Malyari.
Okay, thank you Sam and Kim.
Yes.
So ayan ang aking screen, and we're now this is the part where you are freely to unmute your microphone if you are sharing and speaking. So I'm going to ask the moderators to maybe going to pick a person who is going to share. So it is very important for me because nalalaman ko dito na may natututunan talaga kayo. So just it says, you can say, today I learned and something about the WH questions and such. So who wants to go first, or do we have volunteers for today I learned session?
Yes, ma'am, may nag-volunteer po. Ito po nag-message po sa akin, si Nicole Cruz po. Ayan, kapatid ko yan, ma'am.
Oh, wow, very supportive. Okay, Nicole.
Hello po. Can you hear me po?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Good afternoon po, everyone, and good afternoon, Miss Mary Grace, of course. And super po ako nag-prepared kanina pa lang when you said that there will be a today I learned something, because I'm really excited about this. So anyway, my key takeaway from this is that software testing should be prioritized to achieve an output that is of high quality. Hearing the term software testing for the first time got me hooked onto it throughout the talk. As stated, there are three testing techniques that examine examine software properly, namely the boundary value analysis that locates and detects that locates defects in programs, the equivalence partitioning, which reduces the time required for the performing of testing software, and we also have the decision table, which gives the developers the capability to analyze complex business rules and make it flow much more efficiently. So that was my kind of the technicality that I've learned. And then after setting all those aside, it got me slightly wondering how beneficial and crucial this testing is for all the software available in different platforms. And as we go forward with the talk, here are some of what I've learned to be as the advantages of software testing. Top on the list is that software testing helps save money because when bugs are detected in the first few stages, they can fix it immediately. Second is that software testing helps improve the overall quality of the product, and as for the people behind it, continue to examine the results, fitting it more into the client's liking. Last but definitely not the least is that software testing plays a massive role in security. Of course, as someone who is very much engaged in all social media platforms and other digital ones, I find it as as a must that software testing requires the software to be kept secured at all times. Thankfully, to the big help of software testing, about 99.9% of those vulnerability and threats us customers can get are pushed away successfully. Overall, the talk has taught me that there are tons of things going on in the tiniest bits of details we see on the surface, and we owe it all to the software testing itself and all to the people working behind it doing their magic. Thank you po.
Taray, may magic. Well, yeah, really speechless. Well, you're really prepared and detailed. Thank you, Nicole, for that TIL. And it's really helpful na ma-share mo din yung mga na-learn mo with this discussion. So, I hope hindi pa natakot ang ating other volunteers with that. And it's very nice, and I'm really happy that Nicole shared with it. Is there any more volunteer? I'm going to pick other two people. I think Angelo is raising his hand. So
Good afternoon to all of you organizers. Despite my busy schedule, thank you for sharing your knowledge. It will help to my personal work for your day 1 to 3 webinar day 1 to 3 webinars. About your presentation, ma'am, I really like and enjoy it. And I want to congratulate to all of you organizers for your successful day 1 to 3 webinar despite my busy schedule. I am so proud of you and your first guest speakers and your host for your day 3 webinar today are so pretty. Thank you.
oh my G, yung presentation lang, Angelo, yung pretty. Charot. Thank you, Angelo, for that message, for that today I learned. And yeah, I hope that you will join the other days for this event. So this is only day 3, so there are other 2 days more. So wag mabobore, and just be involved sa mga events. So last na nag-raised hand is si Lerwin. So the floor is yours, Lerwin.
Hello. Rinig po ba? Sound check?
Yes.
Ayun po. Okay. So before I start, I would like to take this opportunity for you, ma'am. And thank you for being part of this event and sharing your knowledge and skills, or a little bit of an information about QA. So, my TIL for today, no? First, I break this down into separate parts din kasi. I saw that you've been part of an event in Unity, ma'am, if I'm not mistaken. I saw that picture on your introduction. I'm just curious because of, yeah, I've been playing a lot of games since when I was a child, no? And I've been interested for some of the game engines out there. And maybe it's a part of a I guess a collaboration with the developers and the QA as well, no? And yun nga, aside from doon is yung tinatawag nilang, I don't know if you're familiar man with alpha testers or beta testers sa mga
Yes.
softwares and developers or such thing. Most likely kasi, yung ginagamit nila yun as that term to say na the game or the program itself is not 100% complete. And I guess that's the relationship between the developers and the QA. Aside from doon is yung clients to QA relationship. I guess yung sinabi din kanina na UI, front-end, back-end, and siguro dagdag ko na lang din yung network issues, no? Of course, there will always be an issue. Persist since there are no perfect programs, no? Aside from that, I also learned that QA is also part of testing in securities and security, connection, and maybe all the real-time activities and functionality of the software or program. No? Siguro yung doon lang sa sa argument kanina na the conflicts between QAs and software engineers, no? I guess it makes sense since most of the clients will share their issues on the program, no? And that's the job, I guess that's the job of the QA to accommodate those issues and give those issues back to the developers or to the engineers. So maybe that's the reason why there will be always a conflict kasi in the end of the day, it's between the QAs and the engineers na kung saan sila mag-uusap to resolve the issues of the client. So I guess that's makes sense talaga to me, ma'am. So yun lang po.
Yeah, the last thing you said, Lerwin, so the clash between QAs and developers, so you explained it well, so it's very nice. Thank you for sharing that, and also the alpha and beta testing. So yeah, that's the other types of testing, but I haven't done that. It's yeah, I haven't experienced doing that types of testing. So thank you, Lervin, for your sharing. And today I learned. Sa mga gusto pang mag-share and mag-share ng today I learned nila, you can always message it sa FB Live, I think. Like, because mare-record pa din yung yung mga comments doon. So, I can read also. So, yan. Thank you everyone sa mga nag-share in their TIL. And we're going to move to the next slide, which is going back to our goal earlier. I want to empower you more by saying this chant. So I'm going to request all of you to unmute yourself and we will say this chant all together. It's I joined, I learned, I shared. So, our mods, can we unmute all of them? Is it possible?
Okay, ma'am. Need nyo po i-unmute lahat, no?
Yes.
Okay po. So, naka-disable po yung microphone ata. Sige.
Kahit few
Okay.
people lang din, okay lang.
Sige po, ma'am. Okay, so, ayan. Unahan na natin. So, I joined.
Sabay-sabay? Yeah?
I want to...
Naka-unmute na ba? Okay.
Yung
Ready?
ilan lang po ata eh. Okay.
Okay. Ready, get set, go. I join,
I
learn.
Learn.
share.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you everyone for your time and for attending this workshop, and keep the fire burning.
Ay, wow. Thank you po, ma'am. Okay, pwede bang everyone, let's comment virtual clap para naman kay ma'am sa kanya napakagandang segment for the talk. Okay? So, nasa na po yung partner ko? Nawawala na po yung partner ko.
Hello, I'm sorry. Okay. Pasensya na naglalag ako. Okay, go.
Okay. So, ma'am, ayan, so, okay. So, now let us proceed na rin. Ay, before pala na, ma'am, syempre, kamustahin ka muna namin. So, how was the talk? How was the experience and everything?
Well, it's really speechless because it's one of my talks that the participants are really joining the conversation. Well, I really want, that's my goal, like to participate almost all of the people that are joining. So I'm glad that I think I accomplished that goal. So with the experience with the participants, so they asked a lot of questions, which is really helpful for each and everyone. So it's nice, and the I'm going to request Kim and Sam for a song. Just kidding. Yeah.
Ma'am, okay po.
Unahan naman natin.
Tapos na po tayo. Thank you very much. Okay, so let us now proceed to so yun, ma'am.
Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you
Okay,
din
thank you
po,
ma'am.
ma'am.
So because of that, so we would like to present our speaker, Miss Mary Grace Malyari, with a certificate of appreciation followed by a short photo op. So yun. Certificate of appreciation is presented to Miss Mary Grace Malyari in recognition for her invaluable contribution as a resource speaker in software development and testing. So, workshop day 3 of Reconnect Rekindle, organized by the Programmers Guild, given this first day of February 2022. So, signed by Event Head Mark Lyndon Odias, TPG President Carl Viñas, TPG Advisor John Dustin Santos. So, a virtual round of applause, please, everybody. So, you can share support through emoji din, as always. So, yun. Okay?
Yay! Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you po, ma'am. Again, so...